If you want to know how to sell a house fast without an agent, a broker, or a realtor, let me show you how in this video step by step. Hello, deal makers. If you're new to the channel, I talk about investing in multiple asset classes such as real estate and global stocks. If you own property, sometimes you may need to sell it. And if you can't get a good agent or you want to save on commissions, it's sometimes better to do it yourself. So let's get started. Step one is research. So you have to have a clear idea of the market in your area. So you need to check properties for sale in the neighborhood. You may need to walk around, ask people in your area, ask your neighbors, ask the guards, ask the cleaning people, now, ask the people in your neighborhood for other properties for sale. You may also want to check out nearby neighborhoods, and you can also check online for properties for sale in your area. You want to have a good idea on what is available, what are the prices, what are their property conditions. And you also need to check the expenses involved in a sale. Now, usually in the Philippines, if you are the seller, usually you pay for the capital gains tax, which is 6%. Optionally, you may want to have the property appraised. So you can hire a property appraiser and let him or her make an appraisal so that you'll have an idea of what is your fair market value. The appraisal report will also contain properties for sale in your neighborhood. You just need to pay a small amount, around 5,000 to 10,000, depending on your location and the property. Step two, stage the property. This is the part where you prepare the property for selling. Staging is designed to maximize the property value so that you can get as much value from the property during the sale. So I would recommend that you make all necessary repairs. If there are things that can be easily done, maybe you can do it yourself or you can hire someone to do it for you. Of course, if there are big repairs, then it's going to be a decision if you have the resources. Now, if you don't have the resources, then just be prepared to make concessions with the buyer because anytime there are massive repairs to be made, you can expect the buyer to really haggle the price down. So, the idea here in staging is you want to maximize the value of your property by doing everything you can to make sure that there is nothing that the buyer can say about the property. You want to make it as easy for the buyer to move in as possible. Next, you would want to declutter. If you're already serious in moving, then I would highly recommend that you remove things that are not needed. This will make your property look more spacious and it's going to give the potential buyer the opportunity to envision themselves living in the property. If they have all of your clutter, if they can see all of your clutter, they would think that your property is smaller than it actually is. So, to give them the illusion that they have a lot of space, I suggest that you declutter. Then I would recommend if you still have the budget, to make the property more beautiful. If it needs a repaint, go ahead and invest in repainting the property. If it needs landscaping in front, then go ahead and do so. Making it as beautiful as possible will increase its perceived value. Again, the idea here in staging is to maximize the value of the property. So you want to make repairs, you want to declutter the space, and you want to make it more beautiful. Once you are ready to sell the property, then you can already promote the property in multiple channels. You need to tell everyone you know. You need to tell your relatives, your neighbors, your next door neighbors, your neighbors on the other street, your neighbors outside of your nearby blocks. You can tell your if you are part of a subdivision or a condominium association, tell your condo administrators, tell your subdivision managers, Tell the guards, tell the local businessmen that you frequent, right? Tell your barber, tell your dentist, tell your baker, uh, tell everyone you know who lives in the area or who operates near the area, because maybe either they're the ones who would be interested to buy, or they know someone who would be interested to live in your neighborhood. Next, you need to put a sign on the property. Nothing sells a property more than a sign up front, because it is a passive way of advertising the property without you having to go and tell everyone you know. Anyone who's passing by in front of your sign, and if you did your staging well, right? You repainted your house, you landscaped the front of the property, you are definitely going to be getting inquiries on the sign that you put up front. Next thing that you need to do is to put up signs on the neighborhood. Obviously, this will depend on your neighborhood policy, but if there are places where you are allowed to put up signs, then go ahead and do so. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are part of a subdivision, usually these subdivisions have bulletin boards where you can put announcements. Maybe you can put a tarpaulin in front of the gate, at the gate of the subdivision, or the entrance of the condominium. So wherever you are allowed, put up signs in the area. Maybe there are bus stops or jeepney stops. You can also put up signs in those places. Or maybe in your neighborhood cafe, right? Sometimes in some stores or in some cafes, they allow you to put neighborhood as announcements. Then you can put up a sign there as well. Next, announce it on social media. Wherever you have an account, let the people know that you have a property for sale. This will allow the people that you were not able to contact, right? In step one, you want to tell everyone you know, but sometimes you don't remember everyone. So for those that you forgot to mention or you forgot to reach out to, posting it in social media will help them reach out to you. And also, there are groups in social media that actually entertain these kinds of posts. You can find local communities that have these local properties for sale, Facebook groups, for example, or maybe even LinkedIn groups. So if you can find these social media groups where you can exchange information on properties for sale, then join these groups and post your properties there. You can also post your property for sale on real estate websites or property portals. Portals such as Carousel, myproperty.ph, Lamudi. So you can post your property for sale in these real estate websites. So when you did your research in step one, you will actually see which real estate websites have properties for sale in your area. So that already means that they're already getting traffic for those kinds of searches. So it's good to have your property posted on the same websites as well. And also, you can distribute flyers. So whenever you contact the people that you know, you can give them flyers. I also suggest that you give flyers to the security guard if you are inside a subdivision or a condominium, right? Leave it to the reception or leave it to the guard so that they can give it to people who will ask about your sign, your for sale sign. So those are the 6 steps that you can do to promote your property for sale. Once you have promoted your property aggressively, you will start to get inquiries. And this is now time to present your property. So answer all inquiries. Make sure to answer as quickly as possible. The goal here is not to sell the property through messenger, through text, or through the phone. The goal here is to set an appointment. So you want them to visit your house so that they can see what it looks like. Alternately, especially during this time, you may want to just send them video tours. So part of your staging or part of your promotion could be to prepare a video tour of your house. And if there are people who are interested to look at your property, now you send them the video tour. But if they're interested to really go there, that means they like what they see, then go ahead and set the showing appointment. Next, before they show up to your property, you want to prepare a fact sheet for them so that they can already see all of the details about your property. So include important details like lot area, floor area, how many bedrooms, what's included in the sale, what are the rooms in the house, what sets your house apart, what are the things that make your house a great deal, what are the advantages in the location, in the neighborhood. So make a one pager that they can bring with them and review at home. Make sure to record their names and numbers for the next step because it's very easy to forget. So you will need to have a way to reach out to them to follow up if they're interested. While they're there, while you are presenting the property, answer all of their concerns and objections. Whatever their concerns are, try to answer those in a positive light. Just don't get into an argument with your buyer. So you don't want to argue with your buyer. You want to present your property in the best positive light. So you can acknowledge all of their concerns, acknowledge all of their objections, but answer them gently with the reasons why some of those concerns are not actually big concerns, or why those concerns are superseded by the advantages of your property. There's no perfect property, but all properties have an advantage. So those are all of the things that you will do when you are presenting a property for sale. Now, obviously, not all buyers will buy or make a commitment on the first showing. Some of the more serious ones will actually go back 2 or 3 times, right? They will bring their spouse, they will bring their kids, they will bring their entire family to help them make a decision. So you will need to have a way to follow up with them. You need to have a way to tell them or to ask them, are they ready to make an offer? So you really need to only follow up two things. Are they ready to make an offer on the property? And are they all ready to make a payment, an initial payment or their earnest money deposit? But the idea here is to keep in touch to make sure that they're still interested and maybe to give them updates. Say there are 3 or 4 people that looked up your property and you have all of them interested. So when you follow up, you tell the person that you are making a follow up on, that you tell them that there are other people who are interested in your property. Maybe give them an update that one has already given their offer. Are you ready to make an offer yourself as well? You need to follow up, and there's really only two things that you need in the follow up, and that is, are they ready to make an offer and are they ready to make payments? When you have a lot of inquiries and when you are diligent in the follow up, then we will move into the last step. But before we do that, please make sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now, this helps the channel grow and it helps YouTube show this video to more people who are interested to learn about real estate investing. Okay. So moving on to the last step. You already have an interested buyer who wants to close. So what are the steps to close the sale? Well, number one, you need to set the closing meeting. When are you going to discuss? When are you going to make the payments? So make sure that you are free on both days. And before you get to the closing meeting, you're going to need to prepare and review the contracts. To make it easier for you, just hire a lawyer to prepare the contract for you. While there are contracts that you can download, I would suggest that you get the assistance of someone who is familiar with real estate transactions, just so that you can have a solid contract prepared. Okay? And then both of you will need to review the contract so that before the closing meeting, both of you will agree on all of the things that are included in your contract. And then at the closing meeting, That's where you sign the contracts, you accept the payments. If they're going to be using financing, you accept their letter of guarantee. So make sure to tell your buyer that they need to be prepared with their letter of guarantee before the closing meeting. So they will need to do everything on their part to get that letter of guarantee. So once they are fully paid, they have made the down payment, they have presented you with a letter of guarantee, that's the time to sign the deed of sale. And once you have signed the deed of sale, if they pay in cash, then you turn over the title to them. They can already handle the title transfer. But if they are paying with bank financing, make sure that you handle the title transfer. This is something that you can hire to. There are companies that do title transfers. There are agents that also do this as well. Why is it important that you do this if the buyer is using financing? Well, this is to protect your interest. You, even though you have the letter of guarantee, the letter of guarantee will actually mention that the bank will pay you once you turn over the title to them under the name of the buyer. So you need to do the title transfer yourself so that you can submit the title to the bank personally. That will ensure that you will get your payment. There you have it. Once you have a buyer, you set the closing meeting, review the contracts, sign the contracts, and accept the payments, and then finally transfer the title. So again, let's quickly review the steps on how do you sell a house fast without an agent. Number one, you do your research so that you know who are you competing against. Number two, you stage the property. You maximize the value of the property by making necessary repairs and making it more beautiful to increase its perceived value. Number three is you need to promote your property on multiple channels. Tell everyone you know, put up signs everywhere, put it up on social media on different real estate websites, and distribute flyers all over the area. Number four, once you have promoted your property, you will start to get inquiries, and your goal here is to present the property to them. Now, set appointments, make them visit the property, or you can give a video tour for them so that if they really want to see the property themselves, you already know that they like what they saw. Number five, not everyone will buy as soon as they see the property, so you will need a way to follow up with your prospects. So you need to let them know what is happening and you need to ask for their offer and for their payments. And lastly, if you really have a buyer who is already eager to move forward and buy the property from you, then you need to close the transaction. So you need to prepare the contracts, you need to review the contracts, and set the signing meeting or the closing meeting, where at that meeting you will get paid and you will sign the deed to transfer ownership to your new buyer. All right, so with all of those steps, I hope that this will help you sell a house fast, but I know that anyone can sell their own house, and sometimes it is an advantage if you know how to sell your own house. You can save a lot on commissions, and you already know the property inside out. You won't need to describe it, to your agent or broker. But for some who don't have the time, maybe you don't have the skill or the desire to know how to sell a property, then of course I would highly recommend that you hire a professional. If after seeing this you decide, okay, it's much better if I just hire an agent because I don't have the time to do this, I don't have the desire to learn how to sell my own property, then click on the link below and let us know your details, describe your property to us so that I can link you up with a professional that can sell your house quickly. And let me know in the comment section, will you sell your property yourself or will you hire a professional instead? Let me know in the comments section. And if you want to get more real estate related content, if you want to learn more about real estate investing or investing in multiple asset classes such as global stocks, please click subscribe and hit the notification bell button. Make sure to like this video and check out the videos on real estate investing. Always remember, it's a great day to make deals, and may all your deals push through. See you in the next video.